everyone, welcome to another episode of Brit's Breakdown. I'm so excited to be doing the mommy scenario tag for you guys today. So I was tagged by several people, but most recently I was tagged by Anna. Their channel is called Live Like No One Else. They have an awesome family channel. They talk about things like getting out of debt, and they have vlogs, and they're just the sweetest, coolest family ever, so you should definitely check them out, and their link will be below. First question is, your kid is refusing to eat dinner. Do you stand your ground and demand they eat what you make, or make them something else? This happens quite frequently with Audrey. Kai will eat anything I throw at him, whether it's food or not, but Audrey can be picky. I definitely stand my ground with her because I never serve anything that I know she hasn't either had before or that she just is not going to be good for her to eat, like something spicy or anything like that. Like, I always serve things that I know she can eat. And so if she decides not to eat them, we have kind of like a one bite rule, especially with vegetables or other things, because there's times where I know she will like it if she just tries one bite. So I really try to encourage her to try at least one bite, and then a lot of times she'll try it and she'll be like, oh, this is actually really good. I encourage her to have one bite, and then I'll say, you know, you can be done, but your tummy is gonna be hungry still. And there are times where she will just not eat dinner, and that's okay because I know she'll make up for it the next day. And I mean, yeah, YOLO. I'm not gonna make 5 different things, so that is my rule on that. Number 2, your kid has a meltdown at the store. Nothing is working to calm them down. Do you leave and come back another time, or grit your teeth and finish shopping? This has also happened before, and it depends on, no, it doesn't depend. I usually, I will finish because, you know, I obviously came to the store because I needed to, and so leaving is not really an option, unless it's just something crazy happens, like, I don't know. I mean, that's never happened to where it's crazy. But yeah, Audrey has thrown tantrums before when we've been out, and I usually try to prepare before we go to the store, like, you know, we have to go to the store, and I usually also try not to go like full grocery shopping with her, just because, I mean, it's just hard to go to grocery shopping with a 2-year-old. There's a lot of little tempting things, like the checkout stand with all that candy. I don't know why they put it right there. And yeah, there's times where she'll just throw our tantrum, and I'm just like, girlfriend, you gotta work through it. Speaking of that though, there was this one time I was at the grocery store, and I'm telling you, I have rarely ever felt like I wanted to slap someone, but this was one of those times. Not my child. Okay, let me clarify. I didn't want to slap Audrey. I wanted to slap a lady at the grocery store because of what happened. Okay, quick story. We were at the grocery store, and I had Audrey in the stroller, and I was just grabbing a few things. Like, we had walked to the store, and she just lost her mind over something. I don't even know what it was, but it was literally, I think she was really tired too. And so I, you know, tried it, consoling her. I tried, you know, this and that, and none of the tactics were working. And I'm like, you know, we're just gonna have to work through it. So I was going through the self-check to try to speed up the process. And I had her like right here, and I was turned around, and this lady who worked at the grocery store was like, oh no, what's wrong, honey? Why are you crying? I'm like, obviously she's throwing a tantrum, but whatever. For some crazy reason, this lady did not seem to understand that. Maybe she never had kids before. So anyway, I turned around, and I was like, oh yeah, she's just having a rough time. You know, we're almost done. So I'm turned around, bringing my stuff up, and the next thing I hear is she's like, Audrey completely stops crying. I turn around, and she has a sucker in her hand. Yes, a sucker. And the lady goes, oh, I gave her a sucker. And I looked at that lady, I was like, do you want to be slapped? Because I will slap a hoe. No, I'm just kidding. Thankfully, Jesus interceded and held me back, because I was like, who are you to come up to my child who, number one, is being naughty, throwing a tantrum, and does not by any means deserve a treat? And you didn't even ask me, you just gave it to her. Like, what if she was allergic to that? She could be like dying or something. You have no idea. So I thankfully was given the grace to say, you know, you probably should ask people before you give their kids candy. And then she was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry, I didn't even think about that. And she was like, but it's working. Look, she's so much better. I'm like, well, duh, you gave her candy. I mean, yeah, obviously I could have shut her up with candy, but I wasn't. Anyway, I totally went off. Next question. Your kid gets too many toys for their birthday. Do you make some returns or save them for a rainy day? I would probably just save them for a rainy day, because what I like to do with the kids' toys is rotate them. So I like to keep some of their toys in like plastic containers in their closet. And then when I notice they're getting tired of the ones that they've been playing with for a while, or just kind of bored, I will switch them out, and it's like Christmas. So I'd probably do that with the toys they get for their birthday, or I would donate some or give some to a friend or something if it's just way too much and they would never play with it. Next question. Your kid is protesting sleep. Do you give in at 3 a.m.? or turn on a movie, or continue to rock them, nurse them, etc. to try to get them back to sleep? Thankfully, my kids have been really great sleepers, knock on wood. Kai sleeps through the night, Audrey sleeps through the night. So if Audrey randomly woke up at 3 a.m., I would probably send Austin in just to check on her. Austin, because he's able to like check on her without her being like, mommy, you know, that thing. Anyway, I'd probably have him check on her just because that's really abnormal for her to wake up at 3 a.m. So I would have him check to make sure she didn't, you know, have an accident in her bed or throw up or have, you know, fever or something hurting. And then if I knew she was okay and she just randomly woke up, then I would just be like, well, let's just settle her, and then she'd probably have to work it out. Thankfully, that's never happened to where she thinks that she's gonna get up, because that doesn't happen. So nope, definitely no movie. She would have to work that out. Kai, I would do the same thing if he woke up randomly crying. You know, he has teething and stuff like that. So I always have his, you know, I have their monitor on, and I always check to make sure. And if he continued to cry, I would probably, you know, make sure he was okay. And I'm a mean mom. I tend to let them cry it out. I mean, at this age, he's 10 months. She's 2. I feel like, I mean, unless, like I said, I always check to make sure they're not sick or something, but I usually err on the side of letting them work it out, because a lot of times if you let them cry for maybe a couple minutes, they usually just go back to sleep and it's fine. Number 5, you have an appointment and no babysitter. Do you bring them or reschedule? Definitely reschedule. I would never attempt to bring my children to an appointment. I don't care what it's for. Number 6, you have 20 minutes until unexpected company arrives. Do you rush and clean up your house, or just figure, hey, it's okay, I've got kids? It depends. I would probably rush to clean up a little bit, just because, I don't know, I don't like having a completely trashed house, and my house is generally trashed because I have a 2-year-old and 10-month-old, and they like to trash my house. But yeah, I would probably clean up a little bit and do my best in the main area, and then the rest of the house, I mean, you know, YOLO, there's only so much you can do. So Number 7, you're running late and only have time to do hair or makeup. Which do you choose? Do y'all see me in the daily vlog? The daily vlog. The daily vlog. Ah! Baby, you're running late and only have time to do your hair or makeup. What do you choose? Do you guys see me in the daily vlog? I would probably do my hair because yeah. I mean, there are times where I don't do either, but I would say if I am going out, I would at least like to do my hair so that it's just not a hotmess.com. And makeup, I can, you know, sometimes I just don't even wear makeup at all. So I would definitely do my hair, because that's where the time needs to be spent. Last question, you're at the park and another child pushes yours. Do you intervene and correct them, or go find the child's parent? It depends. This has actually happened, I think, in one of the vlogs. There was a little girl that pushed Audrey, and I happened to get it on camera. I usually wait a moment, depending on how severe the situation is. If the child is just crazy and their parent is nowhere to be found, and by the way, why is it that it's always the crazy child who is just bad, and their parent is just off on their phone or not even paying attention? Why is that always the case? I usually try to wait a minute and just see what happens before I like rush in to intervene. And a lot of times Audrey can either, you know, speak for herself and say no pushing, or she'll come and tell me what happens, and I'll say, oh, did you tell them, you know, you didn't appreciate that? Because I really like her to use her words and to understand that if something happens to me, I need to tell someone or speak about it. So I usually try to let her work it out. Then if it's like a pattern where I just notice the kid is crazy and being naughty, I will tell her maybe play somewhere else, or, you know, they're just not in a friendly mood right now, maybe you should go play somewhere else. And then if the kid is just crazy, I have no problem correcting children if their parents are not listening. I mean, I do it nicely, but I think it's the teacher in me that comes out where I'm like, no, you are not gonna be acting crazy in this park, and nobody can tell you, because I will be the one to tell you. I told some little girls the other day, I was like, they were jumping off the slide like crazy animals. I was like, that is not okay. Y'all need to stop jumping. I'm like the old grandma that's like, you need to mind your manners. And then obviously if it was Kai, I would just remove him. I mean, he's little, so I'm not gonna just let him get, you know, someone push him or whatever. So I would probably remove him, and yeah. I'm seriously sweating. I need to turn the air conditioning on. Okay guys, that was the mommy scenario tag. Thank you, Anna, so much for tagging me in that. And I would tag other people, but I feel like anyone who I would tag has already done it, so consider yourself tagged. If you have not done this video and you would like to do it, I tag you. And be sure to tweet me your video so I can watch it, or share it with us so we can watch it. Thank you again, Anna, for tagging me. Be sure to check their channel out, guys. And also comment below with maybe your top 3 next videos you'd love to see me do. Okay, the smoothie, beside the smoothie recipe. I know y'all wanna see that, so I will do that, I promise. But that video is so simple that I'm almost like, it would be like a 2-minute video, but I'll do it because everyone is asking me to do the smoothie recipe. So that'll be next, but then leave me some other ideas of things you wanna see. I wanna do something like fall-esque and just fall inspired, even though it's like 2 million degrees where I live still, and I'm not necessarily happy about that. But anyway, leave me some suggestions below, and thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, your sweet comments. You guys are such a blessing to me, and I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.